Okay, final standard review number 2. Okay, easy one on the first one. The bill for the repair of your bike was $180. The cost of parts was $105. The cost of labor was $25 per hour. How many hours did the repair work take? So we're finding the hours. And the units are the hours and the dollars. So I assign X to hours, Y to dollars. Dollars per hour I see is 25, so $25, and it's actual dollars, so it's a linear equation. So we have XY, and from there we add MXY, and I know my M's 25. Now, there is a beginning amount. You would use the smaller amount, the 105. Okay. So I'm going to cross these out because I can now write my equation. 105 plus 25x equals y. And I would put 180. It's a dollars amount, so it goes in for y. Okay, our x is just to the first power. Easy equation to solve, so I want to subtract the 105. And that's 75, so 25x equals 75 divided by 25, and that's 3 hours. Okay, number 2. I have a gift card at, so we'll say at Subway. After buying 4 subs, my gift card has $50. After buying 10 subs, we're down to $20. All subs are going to cost the same amount. How many total subs can I buy with the gift card before it reaches $0? That means on a full gift card. So I want to know the subs. Okay, so I have subs as a unit and dollars, so that's only 2. Now how to determine their relationship? That's X, that's Y. Per dollars per sub. Now we don't have a dollars per sub, but there does exist one because it's a constant rate. So I know there's a money amount, and I use Y minus Y, X minus X to find it. Okay, and I can do that because the Y is money, and I have 2 money amounts, 50 and 20. 0 is not, you don't use 0 till the down here. Okay, and then 4 and 10. Okay, so 30 over -6, and that equals -5. Makes sense because you're going down. But it is a linear equation. XY plus MXY. So my M is -5. Now I didn't even have -5 in the problem, so to figure out our y-intercept, the beginning amount, we have to use y equals M times X plus B. And I'm going to need a combo from the story problem. And I know the M is that -5. Okay, combo. I have 4 subs, $50. They're in the same sentence, so that forms a combo. 4 subs, $50. Okay, so the Y is money, and that's 50. And the X is 4, so I'm going to take 50 times 4. And we have 50 equals -20 plus B. Put a 1 in front of the B and just kind of circle it, because then you won't be tempted to divide. So plus 20, and that's 70. So I can put 70 up there. I don't need to divide by 1. Now my equation is 70 plus -5x equals y. And I've got $0. Dollars is y, so it's going in for y. So here's my y, 0. Okay, so I need to solve for the x. I need to subtract 70 from both sides. X has one answer. So -5x equals -70, and then I divide both sides by the -5, and that's 14. 14 subs. Okay, number 3. Adult tickets to a play cost $22 each. Tickets for children cost $15 each. Tickets for a group of 11 people cost $228. How many children, how many adults were in the group? So I'm finding the children and the adults. Okay, so my units are children, adults, and money. Well, that's 3, so we're making the table. It's always how to determine the relationship out of 3 units. And we got children and adults. Okay, first thing, what's the cost for children? 15. What's the cost for adults? 22. Okay, look for these are for non-dollar amounts, okay? So I've got 11, but that's 11 people, so that's my total, and that's X and Y. So the top row is taken care of. Okay, the only thing I have left is 228, and that doesn't say per anything, so we black that out, and 228 is your total cost. And then we have 15X and 22Y. Okay, so it's a system because there's X and Y I have to solve for. So X plus Y equals 11, and 15X plus 22Y equals 228. So times 15 times 15 times 15, 111. So it's 15X plus 15Y. Then 11 times 15, 165. And the bottom 15X plus 22Y equals 228. Make the bottoms all negative. And then get rid of those. 15 plus negative 22 is negative 7Y. Then 165 plus negative 228 is negative 63. Okay, so I'm going to divide each side. And Y equals 9. So the Y is your adults, so there's 9 adults. You can plug the 9 in, or you can use common sense. 11 minus 9 is 2. All right, number 4. An animal shelter has 25 more, I'm going to circle that more, cats and dogs. Food for the dogs costs $6 per package. Food for the cats costs $4 or $5 per package. The shelter spends $246 for all animals. How many of each type of package do they purchase? So I want to find the cat packages, how many, not money. And then the dog packages, how many. Okay, so we got the cats, the dogs, and the money. That's 3 units. Okay, 3 units of measurement. Single. Okay, so I got the cats and dogs. Money amount for cats, $5. Cross it out. Money amount for dogs, $6. Okay, how many? Okay, this is non-money amount. So the only non-money amount I see is 25 more. Okay. Okay, when it's more than, we don't put 25 here. Okay, we put X plus 25 in one of these, and then X in the other. Okay, so 25 more cats. So X plus 25, and then X. Okay, cross that out then. And there's no more non-money numbers, so we're going to black that out. Okay, the only thing left is 246, and that's your total. So I'm going to black this out. Don't need it. X times 5 is 5X, and I got to take 25 times 5, which is 125, and then 6X. Okay, you don't need a system here. You add your X's, that's 11X plus 125 equals 246. Minus 125. So 246 minus 125 is 121. 121 divided by 11 is 11. Now that's for the dogs because that's where the singular X is at. So 11 dog packages, and then all you do is add your 25 onto it. 36. Okay. Number 5. An electronics store sells about 70 of a new model of camera each month at a price of $320. For each $20 decrease in price, 5 more cameras per month are sold. The store will make more money if they decrease the price by $20 up to a certain point, after which they should stop, because if they keep decreasing it, they're going to be given away for free. How many price changes will the store maximize revenue? What's the max revenue? So I'm finding the max revenue. Now, with a maximum, you draw an arch like that, probably straighter than that. And opposite of B divided by 2A, we'll find the X, and then to find the Y, you replace X on the calculator. Okay, revenue. What does revenue equal? Money times items. Parentheses that. So revenue is Y. Then I make 2 parentheses. Okay, so the money, I got $320 and I've got $20. So I start with $320 and we're decreasing it by 20, but we're decreasing it repeatedly, so X. And then we cross those two out. Now I got 70. And then if I'm decreasing the price, I'm going to increase this by 5x because it increases repeatedly. Okay, now I have an A. You're never going to get this if you don't multiply it out, okay? Because we need a x to the second plus a b x, and that's a c, but I don't need it, okay? So I take 320 times 70. I take 320 times 5x. I take negative 20x times 70, and I take negative 20x times positive 5x. Find out all these products. So 320 times 70 is 22,400. No x on that. 320 times 5 is 1,600 with x. And then negative 1,400 with x, and then negative 100 with x to the second. So that's your A. To find your B, you want to add these two. That's 200. Then 22,400. So the opposite of my B is negative 200, and I'm going to take 2 times the A, negative 100. So that's a product of negative 200, and you're just dividing a number by itself, which is always positive 1. Now I insert 1 into this, and that's going to give me my maximum revenue. Okay, 22,500. That's your maximum revenue. Okay, 2 more. It's 10:35. I have no life. Okay. Number 6. A baseball is hit with an upward velocity of 80 feet per second. It's hit from a height of 3 feet off the ground. After how many seconds will be caught at its height at 10 feet? So you're finding the seconds. Now it's a parabola, but you're not finding the maximum. So you better identify your units, make a path, and write an equation. So feet and seconds, x is seconds, y is feet. Feet per second is 80, okay? And it is a parabola. I don't really put any numbers on parabolas. I just know how to write the equation. Gravity, negative 16x squared plus 80 with x. Now where did it start from? It started from 3 feet. Equals y. Now we take our 10 feet. Okay, now feet's y, unfortunately. So I put 10 in for y. And x will have 2 answers because it's to the second power. And not only is it to the second power, it's also to the first power, so we need to move everything to one side so we can factor. So negative 16x squared plus 80x, and that's negative 7 equals 0. So that's 3 terms. So GCF and the T-chart, even though the T-chart's probably not going to be effective here. So negative in front. Now, you don't have x on everything. 7's your smallest, so the only factors of 7 are 1 and 7. Okay, but all these will not divide by 7, so we have to use 1, and we have to do it because it's negative, okay? So I factor out a negative 1, and that becomes positive 16x squared, negative 80x, and then plus 7. Okay, A times C, 16 times 7, positive 7, 112. So it's positive 112, sum of 80, but any numbers in the hundreds I'm not going to bother with. I'm just going to make my quadratic formula. So the opposite of B is 80, parentheses second, minus 3 straight parentheses. B is negative 80, and then I always put 4, and then A is 16, and C is positive 7. And then we're going to be taking 2 times 16. So I have 80 in front of the plus minus. I have 2 times 16, 32. I'm going to figure out what that square root equals on the calculator. Double it, negative 80, second power it. Minus parentheses 4, parentheses 16, parentheses 7. 77.15. Okay. So I take 80 plus 77.15 equal, and then divide by 32. You got to hit equals first, so 4.91. Then 80 minus 77.15, 2.85 divided by 32, and that's 0.09. Well, they're both positive, so you're going to put both of them, 4.91, 0.09. Okay? Set 10 feet on the way up and on the way back down. Okay, number 7. A town has a population of 5,000 people. A plant just closed up and the population figures to decrease by an average of 5% each year. How many people will be in this town after 8 years? So I'm finding the number of people. Okay, so I have 2 units, people in years. That's X, that's Y. So per people, PPL per year. Okay, it's going to decrease by 5%, so minus 5%. Now, if it's a percent, it's a curve. It's not a parabola, it's a curve. Similar to a line, but there are some differences, like a times instead of a plus, because you times units by percents, not add them. And then instead of mx, it's g to the x power, and then y. So we started at 5,000. And then the G factor is the minus 5%. That means you take 100% minus 5%, 95%. So that's 0.95. You don't just put 95 there. Okay, so I have 5,000 times 0.95 to the x power equals y. And fortunately for us, 8 years. Years is an x value, so we just put it in for the power, okay? And then y has one answer, and it's by itself, so I just straight shot it into the calculator. 5,000 times 0.95 to the 8th power. 3,317. Okay, that's really all I have to say on that tonight. I hope it's been informative, and we'll keep working on that.